Yan. So, let's see. Doon sa doon sa data muna. May data yan. Okay. Okay. So, kapag ganyan, siyempre, first thing is you need the age bracket, you need the population, for both sexes. Pero, siyempre, meron kang dyan, there's reason why we need to do some disaggregation. Actually, okay, Sprague multiplier is a mathematical tool used in demographic analysis to disaggregate population data into finer age groups. So this method developed by H.R. Sprague. So, yung pangalan ng tao yon, no? So he applies a series of multipliers to population data grouped in broader age categories to estimate the population in single-year age bracket. So, tatanungin, ilan ba yung 6 years old dyan sa population na yan? So, kasi hindi mo makita kasi naka-cluster siya eh. And so that's the rationale why we need to use Sprague multiplier in the education sector when we are, or a subsector of social sector, di ba? Education is a subsector. Um, so estimation of the number of children in specific age groups, di ba? Bago pa mag K to 12, may problem na talaga because of yung NSO, ang kinokollect lang nila na data is hindi siya magkatugma. It does not talaga, it does not fit doon sa primary, 'di ba? Ang primary natin is yung age is 6 to 10, isn't it? So that's grade 1 to grade 5 ba 'yon? And then 11 to 12, that's grade 5 to grade 6, 'di ba? Intermediate. And then 13 to 16 is secondary, and then college naman is 17 to 21. So, yung grouping na yon, that's not the data being collected by NSO during that time. And then before NSO or PSA was able to correct, or not really correct, but before yeah, there was before they were able to organize, nagkaroon na ng K to 12, dalawa na yung ating problem, hindi na nga natin na segregate yung primary, and hindi na natin na fit, and yet nagkaroon pa ng K to 12. So you see these brackets, lalong nagkagulo yung ating computation, and that's why if you I spoke to people from DepEd because they invited me over central office. So I'm also consulting for DepEd, and because they're interested about how to evaluate K to 12 program. And so I learned from them that, I'm speaking to the lawyers also who are actually environmental planners siya. And that's why I was invited, And then he told me na kailangan daw lahat ng regional office and they attend my training on ganito, blah, blah, blah. So how many people are supposed to attend? Ganyan, napakadami. So utang ko pa yon sa DepEd kasi hindi ko pa nabibigay yung training design ko. But actually, dalawa yung concern nila, how to evaluate the K to 12 using the tool na I'm trying to advocate for the theory of change. And another one is because they also want to gayahin yung LUDIP, yung Land Use and Infrastructure Plan ng CHED. But their problem is they don't have funds to do that. And so sabi ko naman, we can seek for grants from institutions na pwedeng mag-support dito. So yun, inaantay nila ako, pero mauna muna si Empolido Group, kailangan mo nang maging environmental planner. That's why, hindi ko pa sila nabalikan. Okay, so that's the kasi yung K to 12 we are having trouble. Pero, basta ang natin, assumption natin here is, hindi pa K to 12 yung, Hindi K-12 yung framework pa. Okay? So mga ano muna, primary, intermediate, secondary, sa ganun muna. And so, we need to, na-explain ba ni Dayan ito noon? Hindi? Na-explain din? Hello?
Hindi, ma'am. Hindi, ma'am.
Ay, okay. Sabi ko kanina kay Jen, na-explain na kay Dayan ito kasi I don't remember na meron. So, timely naman ano. So, when you apply, so ang first na step, di ba, is we obtain the broad age bracket data. Yan yung population data na nakikita nyo ngayon. And then, typically, it's available in 5-year age groups. Kaya yung bilangan is 5 lagi ng 5. And the second one is you apply the Sprague multiplier, and we look at the Sprague multiplier table to disaggregate the broad age brackets into single year age groups. And then we estimate school-going population, meaning we aggregate the single year estimates to match the school age brackets required, like 6 to 10 for primary, okay? And then we plan and allocate resources. So in the context of education planning, we need to how to allocate resources. So and that's why we need this. So we utilize the detailed age group data to plan for educational resources, policies, and infrastructure. So if you have a population data for the 5 to 9 age group and need to estimate the number of 6 years old, yun na yan. So it gets to be complicated. Mahirap siyang i-ano kasi na-mix siya. So, okay, let's look at okay, let's see. I-ano mga yan. So, yan yung makikita ninyo sa board. Hang on. Dun sa muna, i-akit muna. Okay. Ito yung makikita nyo sa board. Ang tatanungin sa inyo, so, to compute, ganon, how many 6 years olds and 7 years old in the given population, ganon. So, ito yung makikita ninyo. Yan yung data. So, ang una natin gagawin is, kasi tatanungin 6 and 7 years old. So, 6 muna. Ilan ang 6 years old dito sa population na to? So, kapag hindi mo ito ni-review, hindi ka talaga makakasagot even pag hindi mo pinractice, even if you have all the data there, you have the multiplier table, the Sprague multiplier, hindi mo siya maano. Kasi meron siyang process na, although it's simple, pero pag hindi mo siya pinractice, tatamarin ka, sayang naman, kapag pala yun, pag 5 items pala, di ba? So, first thing, compute for the single population of 6 to 10, kasi 6, although pwedeng hanapin mo lahat ng 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so 5 age groups. Pero ang problem lang naman is 6 and 7 years old. So, dalawang set of computation. So, mauna muna, hindi mo pwedeng i-combine. So you need to look for the 6 years olds muna. So how would you be able to get the number of the 6 years old population? Lahat yan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 steps na yon kaagad. 7 steps na kasi you need to utilize all those population dyan. 6 years old lang naman yung tinatanong, pero bakit mo gagawin yung 0 to 4? So, because it's part of the concept of Sprague. So, ang gagawin mo, multiply the given population 0 to 4. So, kukunin mo yung 2,926, okay, lagay mo doon, and then, yung imo-multiply mo dyan na 0.0080, you need to look out for that value from the Sprague table. So, multiply mo yan. Multiply the given population 0 to 4 times 0.0080 with the multiplier across age to 6 under 0 to 4 column of the Sprague. Yan pa lang, ano siya nakakalito. So, tandaan niyo to, no? Population 0 to 4 with the multiplier across age 6 under 0 to 4. So, okay, tingin tayo doon sa taas dyan. Hindi. sa taas. Okay, sige lang, keep going, sige lang. Yan. Doon ka punta ka doon sa six, age 6, okay. Ang una mong kung ano yung given, kung ano yung tatanungin sa inyo, kung ano yung problem, yun yung titignan niyo. Okay? Age 6, because that's the one that you're looking for, age 6. And then, lahat yan, 0 to 4, age 5 to 9, yan, lahat kukunin mo yung value niya. Para hindi ka balik-balik, kopyahin mo na lahat yung values ng age to 6. 0 to 4, pero dapat you need to memorize also 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19. And then, of course, meron pang, after that, baka ibang age pa yung 20 to 24. Okay? But lahat ng age 6 dyan, apat lang naman yung nakikita nyo dyan, ano? So, 0.008, and then 0.232, and then you get the the sign. Kung negative yon, kailangan yung negative kasi nagmamatter yon. Minus 0.48 and then 0. Okay? So you need to copy that. Ang gagawin niyo kasi mahaba siya, no? All the 6 there, kahit hindi mo na kopyahin yung 0 to 4 kasi memorize mo naman na siya. And then, you need to copy doon opposite the problem doon sa test question nyo. Okay, balik ulit tayo. Balik na tayo doon sa step by step process. 2.926 kasi you get the 0 to 4, di ba? So makuha mo yung value niya. And then wag ka nang bumalik kasi 1, 2, 3. Kapag ka bumalik ka pa doon pagtitingin ka ulit sa table, it will take time, no? So at least alam mo na yung 0 to yung 5 to 9 is 0.232 na yon. And then yung 10 to is another value. Alam mo na yon. So hindi mo nakakopay na 0 to 4, 0.008, hindi ganon. Kopyahin mo lang yung apat na values. Alright? Kapag kaapat yung tatanungin. And then, the next one is, doon sa 6 na yon is, kunin mo ulit yung 5 to 9. Okay, go to the data again, the age bracket, 5 to 9. Okay? Sorry, 5 to 9 is 3438. Okay, 3438. And then, times 0.232. Kasi yun na yung 6 years old, diba? 6 years old na 5 to 9 na nakita nyo. 0.232. Sige nga, ibalik mo ulit doon dyan para makita nila. 0.232, ayun, age 6 pa rin, pero yung column niya is 0.232, age 5 to 9. Okay, i-memorize na to. Minus 0.048 and then positive 0.008. Okay, go. Balik ulit tayo doon. And so, you go to 10 to 14 na age bracket, and then kopyahin mo ulit yung 3198 doon na data niya, yung population niya. Multiply with that value na negative. So times minus 0.480. And then you get the value. Tapos, i-move mo na pataas dyan. Move mo na. Then, yung step niya, yan. Multiply, and then another one is 15 to 19, di ba? So yung 15 to 19 na yun, stop na yung 6 years old kasi yung next na doon, 7 years old na. Walang 22 kan. Walang ganon. So hanggang 15 to 19 lang yung 6 years old. And then after obtaining all the values, you add them, pero meron kasing negative doon, so magiging minus yan. Diba? Pwedeng i-add mo muna si 23.48,797.616 and then i-add mo si 22.848 and then i-minus mo si 153. Or you can meron ka namang calculator. Pero kailangan, plus and minus, baka makalimutan naman ninyo yung basic ninyo, no? Mali na ulit kayo doon. Sayang naman yung oras ninyo na you even look at the Sprague table. So plus 7 and then minus 153. And then so you get a value of 690.368. But because we are talking about people, the population, wala namang 0.368 na tao. So you need to you need to ano, kung merong 691, okay lang sa choices, 'di ba? Pero kung wala, 690. Okay, the lower ano niya, total number of 6-year-old children. Okay? Now, Jen, ibigay mo nga sa GC ito, yung mismong file, and then I would like them to compute uh, 789. Okay, I'll wait for you. 789. 7 years old, using same data. Pero kailangan makuha nila yung ano, makuha nila yung social sector na yan, PDF. And then go to page 12 and compute for same data ha. Page 12 ba yan, Jen? You provide me how many, okay, how many 7 years old, how many 8 and 9 years old. Okay. And then I'll call some people later to explain paano na-obtain yan. Or volunteer, ganun. Tatlo yung gusto kong population 7 years old, 8 years old, and 9-year-old. 9-year-old children. Ibigay mo na yan para makita nila yung table. Let's see nga kung nasundan ninyo. When you have question, just ask me. I'll be here. Lahat mag-participate ha, para wala na kayong time na
Ma'am, anong age po yung kukunin? 7 years old?
7, 8, and 9. Tatlo.
7, 8, 9, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Sige po, salamat.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, pwedeng maki-ano yung table? Yun. Thank you.
Yung mga gusto mag-camera, okay lang. Para naman, sabi ni Jen, ay friendship lahat. Para makita ninyo, baka mamaya, you will bump with each other, hindi pala kayo magkakilala, no? Practicein nyo yung sinabi ko, ha? Na kopyahin nyo na yung buo. And you need to memorize the range. 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19. Also 2024.
Ma'am, pabalik po dun sa sample solution.
Okay. Hindi ba binigay ni Jen sa GC? Okay.
Nasa GC
Ma'am,
niyo
yan po.
po.
Wait lang.
Okay,
Okay.
sige lang. Hindi, okay lang naman. Yung bigay ano lang, pakita mo na lang para meron silang gagawin. Okay, medyo itapat mo nga dyan para makuha ba sa kabila, sa baba. Yan, okay. Ipakita mo yung table. Okay. Siguro i-cut. Oops. Okay. Ayan. Anong sabi ni Kat? It's not the same, Kat. It's not the same. We will go into interpolation mamaya. Ito ba? Sorry.
Yes po.
Okay.
Limutan lang ko lang kasi. Pero nakahanap ako ng interpretation.
Magkaiba siya. So, sprig ito, tapos mamaya mag-interpolate tayo sa ibang naman, problem. Okay?
Thank you po.
Okay. Ayan, ano na ni Daisy. Let me-
Paano po yung rounding?
Ah,
Ah,
get the upper limit and the lower. Pero kapag yun na nga, pag point pag less than 5. Basta kung ano yung nasa get the closest na lang, no? Baka kasi kahit 0.3 yan 0.3 something ang available na choice, 'di ba? Yung the upper, yung +1, 'di ba? Okay. It's safer to to have more, pero bahala na kayong tumingin later kapag kapag meron yung upper and lower, then i-round off nyo accordingly. Okay na tayo. So I'll call Daisy. Daisy to explain yung 7 niya mamaya, no? Si Daisy yung 7. Tapos si Kat mamaya yung 8. And then si lalaki naman, no? Asa na wait lang.
Ano lang po?
Oo, sige, si Bruce. Si Kwan muna ha, si Daisy muna, and then si Kat.
Sige po, isolve po muna yung number 9 kasi I'm still solving po sa number 8. Medyo
sige lang.
mahina po ako sa...
Ang assumption natin is you're using a scientific calculator, ha? Okay. Tapos mamaya kapag sabihin niyo yung i-explain niyo sa akin how did you obtain so that your colleagues will hear it.
Done na po.
Okay, let's go. Daisy, take it away. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening po.
Okay.
For 7 years old po, what I did is
Mm-mm.
I multiplied the population to the given table. So 2,926 times negative 0.0080.
Jen,
Ah,
tingnan nga natin yung tingnan nga natin yung bracket niya. Ang 7 years old. Okay. Okay, sige, sige, Days.
yes po. So 2,926 times negative 0.0080 plus 3,438 times 0.2160
Mm-mm.
plus 3,198 times negative 0.0080
Mm-mm.
plus 2,856 times 0 po. So the answer po is 693.62 tapos I round it off to 694.
Okay. Doon ba sa ano mo, Daisy, doon sa computation mo, dinidiretso mo na sa calculator so that you can also share bakit maaga or you did it so quick para lang alam din nila paano gawin. Diretso
Yes,
ka ba?
yes po, I'm using the
Bracket?
scientific calculator using the open and close parenthesis po. Tapos kung ano po
Ayun.
yung symbol, kinakopy ko lang po since automatic na po yung
Okay. So ang sinasabi ni Daisy ngayon sa ating lahat is she leverage on using the brackets, yung ano parentheses. Kasi I also advise na kapag medyo mahaba yung process, pwede niyo nang idiretso sa calculator niya para hindi na kayo magsulat, but you use mga bracket or yung ano na yung parentheses. Okay? Para lang para you will still obtain the correct answer. So, who got the correct answer gaya ni Daisy?
So far, tama naman po yung sa akin.
Okay. Okay. So, let's call in. Thank you, Daisy. And so, I'll call Kat to explain naman yung sa age 8.
Hello, good evening po. For age 8, I multiplied the population 2,926 times negative 0.0160. I got negative 46.816. And then for ages 5 to 9, I multiplied,
Pinlas mo siya, no? Okay.
yes po. I multiplied the population times 0.1840. Then for ages, the same then for 10 to 14 and 15 to 19. And I got po 690.848 and to round off 691.
Okay. Who got the correct answer as Kath?
Ako po,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay,
Same
nice
po.
one. Okay. So, ang next ay si Bruce.
Hi po. Good evening, everyone. Linig lang po.
Okay. Proceed.
Yes po. What I did po is the same with the original process shown in the picture. I mean, on the slide. It was the addition method. Like, I manually added it po just to make sure. But I tried po the first method of Miss Daisy, the open close parenthesis. It was much more faster, but just to make sure po I tried to check twice the yung parang the open close parenthesis because one mistake could alter the answers po, lahat po.
Yeah, correct.
Yun lang po, same po. So
Oo.
I mean for the 9, I have overall 683.
683. Okay. Who got the correct answer? Ayan, si Daisy is 6.
Same po, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we're done. So, yung mga hindi pa nakakasunod, ang expectation ko is either kausapin niyo ako or kayo lang din you try to make use of the group chat, the Zoom para you teach each other kasi kapag ka magturo kayo review niyo na rin 'yon. Okay, for lalo na yung mga ano, yung na late ganyan during my explanation. So there were some people who were not present during the time na nagsabi din ako ng mga tips, tips, ganyan, yung mga topics na i-prioritize ninyo. Please help them, okay? Kasi baka ano, magsabi lang kayo sa GC and then you ask your colleagues here, sino yung pwede makapagbigay sa inyo ng listahan na yan. Because I'm not going to repeat that anymore, okay? So, ano mo, i-move mo, we will be interpolating. So, tingnan nga natin. Sige lang, keep going pababa. Okay, so keep going. Yung ano naman, sige lang. Okay. So, oops, okay. Ang sinasabi nga dito, another method of disaggregating the NSO age group by total population per educational level is through the interpolation technique. So, yes, just be, you have presence of mind during the exam. Kasi baka ma-interchange ninyo or ano, sometimes they ask about interpolation. They love giving problems on interpolation at saka yung Sprague nung araw. Baka lang makuha ulit yan sa computer. So, at least nakapag-practice tayo. Or kung hindi man ninyo napakinabangan during the boards, edi sa practice na lang. Okay? So, this technique assumes that each of the age brackets contributes equally to the total population of a specific age bracket. So, ito yung population natin. Ito yung I remember, ito yung na-explain ni Dayan. So, ano yung rationale? Why we need to do interpolation? So, ano talaga yung kanyang ano yung essence niya or ano yung kwan ba? Ano ba yung talagang pinaka-role ng interpolation? Why do we need also to do that? Yung mga ganun, ano? So, because we need to disaggregate pa din. And so, Sprague as compared with that, mas madaming steps ang Sprague. Okay, so yung interpolation, it's sometimes called linear interpolation, and it helps us estimate the population for a specific age within a broader age group by assuming that population change between age is linear. Okay, so this method provides a straightforward way to derive age-specific data when detailed data is unavailable. So, so yung practical use of this is when you use interpolation, we can refine our demographic estimates further, especially when dealing with incomplete data. Diba? Kapag may missing, you can interpolate to get the value. So this is particularly useful in planning educational resources, ensuring that every age group receives the appropriate attention and resources. So, looking into that one, dun sa, paninyo, can you compute, okay, diyan, i-ano mo nga, ganyan mo. To obtain, ang sabi niya dito, to obtain the primary school going age population 6 to 10 ulit, 6 to 10 years old, ilang 6, ganon, ilang 6 ang nasa 5 to 9, for example. So, where can you locate all the 6, yung 6 years old? Diba sa, yung 6 to 10? I mean, di ba sa 5 to 9 siya? So, ilang beses mag-a-occur? So, 5 to 9 means that 6, 7, 8, 9, 4. 4 times yung 6 to 10 na yun, nag-occur doon sa first age bracket. So, that's why, and 4 out of 5, kasi 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 ages yon. Kaya, 4 times mag-occur divided by 5, 4/5 of the age group 5 to 9 years old, and multiply by the total population of age group 5 to 9. So this one is it's easier kasi diyan ka lang mag-concentrate sa data, di ba? So, 4/5 times 8,539 kasi yun yung age group na kumuha ka. So, equals 6,687. And then may naiiwan pa na 10 years old. So, where do you locate that? Where can you find that? Doon sa 1014. And since isa na lang yon, edi 1/5. Kasi for each age group, there are 5 ages. So, Jen, i-ano mo, parang i-closer mo lang without dahan-dahan. Get 1, okay, ganyan. Get 1/5 kasi isa na lang yung naiwan of age group 10 to 14 and multiply by the total population of age group 10 to 14. So, yung 7399 doon, Jen, ibalik mo doon sa 10. Okay. 10 to 14 is 7,399. Okay, balik mo ulit sa computation. So it means that you need to multiply that again. 1/5 times 7,399 is equal to 1,480, and then you add the values. Then you get the sum of 8,167 is the primary school going age population 6 to 10 years old. Okay. Kuhanin nga ninyo yung kwan. So I hope you can obtain all of those. Without looking into your notes, sige, ibalik mo nga doon, Jen. Computein nyo nga yung ano, siguro, okay, not the same age group, the 11 to, di ba, primary ito. So ano yung 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yung intermediate, okay? Two ages lang yun, 10 to 11 or 11 to 12 ba yan? Okay, can you compute?
Ano po, like 11 to 12 po?
Oo, kasi
11
yun yung,
to 12 po yung intermediate po.
sige.
Okay po.
Kaya intermediate. Using interpolation. Halimbawa, during your collection of data, wala yon. Then you can interpolate because you have all those. Si Elvis mamaya and then si
Ma'am,
Elvis.
hindi ko po nasundan kasi kanina mahina yung kwan ko. Not out
Okay.
po yung
Sige.
can I just pass muna ma'am habang I'm reviewing this ma'am?
Sige.
Nawala po yung net ko kanina.
Okay
na
lang.
po.
Si Marcis, hindi, iba naman, not you, Bruce, okay? Si Marcis yung isa, yung, 10, ano ba yun? Sandali lang, ha? Mahina ba yung kan mo? Parang, hindi kita marinig. Si Marcis and then si Christopher John Villena.
Good evening po.
Hi.
Yes,
Okay.
age,
Oo.
what
Please, please compute nga yung, yung
age po, ma'am?
11, yung intermediate. Ano yung intermediate? Diba ang intermediate is 11 to 12? Using this. Please, please mute. Please mute. Yung mga iba mag-compute ng
For
13,
11, for 11,
secondary.
ma'am?
Sorry. Marcis, 11 years old.
For 11 and 12 years old po, ma'am. 2,960.
Okay, can you discuss paano mo siya nakuha para marinig ng ba na hindi naka-catch up kasi mahina yung internet?
Yes, ma'am. Yung sa kinuha ko po sa 2/5 of 7,399 po kasi pasok po yung 11 and 12 sa age bracket na yon. So 2/5 of 7,399 is 2,959.6 po. So
Okay.
2,960, ma'am.
Okay. So, wala ka lang ipa-plus kasi pasok siya lahat, di ba?
Yes, po, ma'am.
Okay. For some people, 13 to 16 nga. And then, yung iba, 17 to 21. Bali, high school yung 13 to 16. And then, 17 to 21 yung tertiary or collegiate or college level. Sige nga. Magtatawag ako mamaya, ha? Si Christopher John Villena yung high school. And then, si Miller yung college. Okay?
Excuse me po, ma'am. Anong age bracket po nga, anong age bracket ng high school po, ma'am?
13 to 16. Okay?
13
Hindi
to
ito
16?
K to 12. 13 to 16. Wala pang K to 12 na variable tayo. Hindi sa available. Okay? Tapos si Miller is 17 to 21. Okay? And then we will move to the next topic.
Thirteen, 14, 15, 16.
Ready?
Ma'am, may question lang po ako.
Yes, Menandro.
Ma'am, parang may error po ata yung table. Kasi po nagdoble po yung age 19.
Oo
Ang
nga eh.
pag-intindi ko po, parang 20 to 24 po ata yung last row, no, ma'am?
Oo,
Tama
oo,
ba po?
oo. May ano
Pati po
yan,
nung,
may error yan noon pa yan, hindi na nabago. Sige lang. Okay. Ano pa kaya? Alam ko na. Jean? Jean Datul? Jean.
Ma'am.
Okay. Doon sa listahan natin, did you see crude death rate and crude birth rate na
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Sige.
Okay,
Daanan ko.
ma'am.
Thanks.
Huh?
Yes.
14, 15, 16.
Christopher. Ano naman ako kay Christopher.
Sorry.
Okay. Ready? Sino na yung nag-explain kanina? Sino na yung nag-explain before? Ay, tapos na si Christopher, di ba? Si Miller, Miller, hello Miller. You're next. Sa college. Kailangan ipapractice nyo na yung calculator nyo, ha? Kasi wala pa naman ang nagka-calculator ngayon. But we need it for the board exam. Nakakasunod ka na, Viz? Okay. I'm waiting for Miler
Sige po, ma'am. Yung
College. Okay.
college, ma'am.
Ah,
Ang
17 to 21.
17 to 21.
Okay. Sige,
So,
paki-discuss.
yung 17 to 21 dito sa 15 to 19 nakapasok
Okay.
may 6,751. So, we get 3/5
Okay.
of the total number, which is 4,050.6. And for the 19 to 24, we get also 3/5 of the population, which is 3,750. So the total is 7,801.2.
3/5 din yun. Dalawa lang, di ba? Oo nga, no? Kasi may 19 na ano.
19.
Actually, parang mali yan no? Dapat,
Mali po yung table po.
Kaya
oo,
20 na
20
yan
to
sana, no?
20,
20 to
mali.
24.
Oo.
So,
I just
yan lang,
also
ma'am.
got that from, actually, UP Diliman itong ano na to. Itong material na to, no? Kamali sila, di ba? Pati sila. So,
So,
lagyan mo siya ng dalawa lang, Miller. Sige,
sige, yung 7,801 yung
Oo.
compute ko based dyan. So, pag natin, i-change to 19 to 21,
22.
to
Okay.
2/5 lang.
2/5 lang dapat. Okay.
So, maging 6,551, ma'am.
Okay. Lahat ba
Oo.
nakakuha? Lahat, let me know ha kapag nakuha ninyo.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay na tayo, no? So, we can move to the next topic, which is the crude live birth rate or live birth pala. So, kaya nga dyan, i-adjust mo nga dun sa, yan, sige. Punta tayo sa, anong page na yan? Keep going. Okay, need help. Ayun, sa apps. So, nasa listahan kasi natin yung crude birth rate. I hope everyone already is familiar with this, ano? So it says in the material, it's often expresses the number of live births per 1,000 population in a given year. So that's the formula. But what is indeed crude birth rate? So that's a demographic measure that indicates the number of live births occurring during a given year. Okay, per 1,000 people in a population at mid-year. Okay, so it's a basic measure of also of fertility in a population. So crude live birth rate equals number of live births divided by total population times 1,000. So we have given here a number of live births in 1995. Okay, so that's 22,000, and then in a total population of in 1995, which is 600,000. So, di ba madali lang yan? I-divide mo lang yung 22,000 divided by total population. So, always the denominator is the total population and multiply it by 100. So, you get the value. What's the result? Diyan, itaas mo, iakyat mo, okay? So, the result shows that the estimated number of live births per 1,000 population in 1995 was 37. Okay? So, ganun lang yung, niya. Ano pa ba yung rational na kailangan dyan. So how do we use that? And of course, very straightforward naman yung ano, but you know, it helps in understanding trends over time, indicating whether the birth rate is increasing, decreasing, or stable. And of course, it's a crucial component din in calculating the natural increase in population, which is the difference between birth rates and death rates. It's also helpful in projecting future population growth, which is essential for, of course, planning, resources, and services. Also, ano yung mga, ano yung mga implications niya in, halimbawa, healthcare. So, high birth rates may necessitate more investment in maternal and child health services. So governments can use this one to allocate resources effectively to areas with higher birth rates. So also, meron din tayong international comparisons or analysis, because this allows for comparisons between different countries or regions, providing insights into demographic and socioeconomic conditions. Also, it identifies regions, yung regional disparities na sinasabi, and this analysis identifies regions within a country that may have higher or lower fertility rates, guiding targeted interventions. So also, socioeconomic din, often used as indicator of socioeconomic development, with higher birth rates typically observed in less developed regions. So in policy-wise, it helps in assessing the impact of policies aimed at family planning, health, and education. It's also used in, it's an educational and advocacy tool used in public health campaigns to raise awareness about reproductive health and family planning. It also provides a basis for academic and policy research on population dynamics and its implications. So you see, we are just computing the birth, yung ano na yan, yung crude birth rate, but it goes, it extends, ang dami siyang use. So I just mentioned them anyway. So it's a fundamental demographic measure that provides valuable insights into the fertility level. Baka kasi tanungin din, fertility level and growth dynamics of a population. And so it's a good tool for policymakers, healthcare providers, researchers to understand population trends and plan resources and implement effective policies and programs. So, okay, next is, ano na yung susunod dyan? So, yan, crude death rate. Okay, ano naman yung crude death rate? So, okay, transfer lang ako. Yeah, infant mortality rate and then maternal mortality ratio. So, how do we tackle that crude death rate? Just a moment. Sandali lang, ha? Okay. Anyway, we have this morbidity rate also is used to determine the health risk in the area. So, because it's all about, di ba, yung, I know this is quite complicated. Hindi naman siya complicated, but meron tayong mga assumptions. Okay, so I'm very particular about this one kasi mamamali tayo kapag hindi natin tignan yung mga assumptions natin dito. And that's why crucial din ito sa planning, So the crude death rate is, again, it is a demographic measure that indicates the number of deaths occurring during a given year per 1,000 people in a population at mid-year. It is fundamental measure of mortality in the population. So crude death rate equals number of deaths divided by total population times 1,000. So, if a country has a population of 1 million, paano? 1 million people, or sige, sa municipality, asan na yung ano na, ano natin dito? Um, okay. Halimbawa, 500,000 yung population mo, and there are 2,000 deaths in a year. Grabeng taas naman na. Grabe namang taas yan. Sige, halimbawa 500,000 ano, and please compute, and there are 1,000 or 500 na lang, 500 deaths in a year. So what's the CDR? Correct kaya yung kan? Someone can give me? Ano na yung given ko?
Ma'am, 3.
Okay, 3 deaths
Yes, ma'am.
per 1,000.
1,500 man mo over 500,000 population.
Yung ano, 500,000 yata yung binigay ko na population.
Yung
500 divided by
sorry ma'am,
500.
1,500 ang computation ko. Sorry ma'am, 500 pala, sorry ma'am.
Sige.
Divide 500,000.
Okay. Ay, mali pala, mali. Sorry. Ano na lang ako, hindi siya, ano, mali
One kasi
yan.
ma'am ang sagot ma'am kung 500 divide
1.
500,000 times
Oo.
1,000 is 1 po.
Sobrang ano naman, ano, sobrang baba,
Baba.
ano. Oo, divided by 500. Sandali lang. Sige nga, 3,000 divided by okay. Sige, ano na ba yung ano, nawala naman sa calculator ko yung kanina. So if there are 3,000 deaths divided by 500,000, ilan naman yun?
6, ma'am, 6.
6, okay. 3,000 divided by 500,000. So ang ano dito, so that's the ano, no, that's the how we compute it. So I think hindi na kayo magkakamali diyan. So makukuha ninyo yung kung ilan yung problem na ano na they will give on that. Tapos pag-aralan nga natin itong ano, because this is the standard This is the standard for kailangan ma-memorize na rin natin ito. That for sabi dito, morbidity rate is used to determine the health risk in an area, and the Philippine Health Development Plan use the following assumptions in computing for morbidity. So ang kwan dito, so 42% of the population will get sick, okay? But 80%, ito yung kanyang standard. 80% of the 42% usually go to government hospitals. Let's not disturb this standard. And then 20% of the 42% go to private. So 100 na yan. So 10% of the 80, okay? Of the 80% na sa government who go to government hospitals will be confined. 10% lang. And so because these are assumptions, but all the rest 50% of the 10% will go to primary, 30 of the 10% will go to secondary hospitals, and 20% of the 10 will go to tertiary hospitals. Okay. I'll call someone. Jen? Sige. Tingnan niyo muna yan, ha? Tingnan niyo muna. Pero huwag kayong titingin ng ano, ha? So, pwedeng, paki-ano naman yung camera nyo. Let's practice something. So, I did this with, paki-open lang yung camera. Alright? So, halimbawa open the camera. And then, tanggalin mo yung ano dyan. Tanggalin mo na yung ano, unshare mo yan. Okay. So, I want you all to ano, halimbawa Rhoda May. Rhoda May, can you tell us yung nakita mo kanina, ano yung naalala mo doon sa percentage na yan? Sige nga. I will start with 42% of the population will get sick. Okay, ilan yung sa government, ilan yung pupunta sa private, at saka, yun muna. Kasi hindi ito ilalagay sa, si Bonono? Sige. Wait lang. Si Rhoda May again.
Ma'am, yung 42% usually sa government hospitals po.
Hindi. Ilang percent, di ba? 42% will get sick, di ba? Of the population. So halimbawa, 100,000 yung population. 42% doon ay nagkakasakit. Ilan yung pupunta sa government? Ilan yung pupunta sa private? Ilang percent muna of the 42 na nagkakasakit? Sige nga. 100,000 yung population. Use your calculator. So, government mo na, sabihin mo sa akin. So, di ba, 42% ang nagkakasakit. And then, ilan yung pupunta sa government? Okay, ang hati. Sige, sabihin ko muna.
42% ng population po. Babalik ka dyan, ma'am. 42% man yung population.
Okay, isa-isa. I'll call Roderick muna. I'll call Roderick para sabihin mo kay Rhoda May. Game.
Hindi ma'am, point of correction. Yung tinatanong niyo po, ma'am, kasi
Sige.
80% yung nagpupunta sa government hospital, 20% po yung sa private.
Okay, hindi mo na yan. So, in a population of 100,000, 42% of the population will get sick. So, ilan yon? Yun muna.
42,000, ma'am.
Okay.
42,000, ma'am.
42,000. Ilan ang pupunta ng government? So, tell me the percentage muna.
80%, ma'am. So that is 33,600.
Yes, ma'am.
33,600 po.
Ngayon, ilan yung pupunta sa private?
20%, ma'am. That is 8,400.
20% of
42,000, ma'am. That is 8,400. It will be going to private.
Private. Okay. Ngayon, I'll call Marikit with a population of 300,000. So, can you tell me the dichotomy? Ilan yung pupunta sa, I'll not tell you kung ano yung magkakasakit kasi yun na yung assumption eh. Tell me ilan ang pupunta sa government, ilan pupunta sa private with a 300,000, sige, 350K population. Quiet. Si Marikit muna. Can you bring down your hand, Bruce? Okay. Can you bring down?
Sorry po.
It's okay. $350,000. Tell me first yung nagkakasakit. Are you okay?
Hello ma'am.
Yes.
Bali ma'am for 350,000 population, 147,000 po yung magkakasakit, and then 117,600 yung pupunta sa government, and then 29,000 po yung pupunta sa private.
Great. Okay. Now, okay, hang on. Same data, same data. So, how many people, those who go to government hospitals, sinabi na ni Marikit yon, how many people will be confined? Si Ma'am Weng Medina, ilan yung mako-confine? Di ba? Pwedeng pwedeng, di ba, yung they just ER lang sila, and pero yung nako-confine, sinabi doon blank percent of the 80% who go to government hospitals will be confined. Ma'am, are you okay?
That is 10% lang.
10%, yes. Okay. Kailangan matandaan nyo lahat itong assumption, ha? Okay. BC, si BC kaya.
11,760.
11? Correct ba?
11,760 lang.
Correct
Okay.
po.
11,000.
11. Okay. How about same data, ha? Same data. So how many will go to primary hospitals kapag yung mga pumupunta sa government? Remember, number of beds ang pinag-uusapan dito, no? Kapag primary, secondary, tertiary. Same data. How many will go to primary? Dapat memoryado nyo na ito.
5,880 ma'am.
5,880 ma'am. 82 ma'am.
Okay. Lahat ba nakakuha?
Yes
Oh.
po.
And how many will go to tertiary naman?
3,520 ma'am.
Oh, correct ba? And how about secondary?
Yung secondary ma'am, yun ma'am, 3,528. Yung tertiary, 2,352 ma'am.
Okay. Now, 'di ba?
352.
Okay, kunwari nagre-recite kayo ng poem, ano? Kunwari nagre-recite kayo. You start with the how many population will get sick up to the 20% of the 10% will go to tertiary hospital. I-recite nga ninyo 'yon. Sige, I'll call Prudentia muna. And then tingnan ko lang gaano kalakas yung retention ninyo. Okay? Without looking. Kailangan mag-isimula kayo sa from the total, ganito ang start ninyo. From the total population, 42% will get sick and blah, blah, blah. Okay? Sige, Prudential, wag kang
Sige ma'am,
mangopya.
okay.
Sige,
On
game.
the total population ma'am, the total population will get sick, that is 42%. Then after that, so pag yung na-compute na yun ma'am, so we will get we'll go to the public, that is 80%. Then sa private, that is 20%, 42%. Then 10% of 80% ma'am, yun yung mako-confine. Then yung makuha mong data doon, so yung 50%, 30%, 20% ma'am, yun yung
So ano yung 50, 30, 20?
tertiary.
Ano yung 50, 30,
Yung
20? Yung
primary ma'am.
hindi,
Yung 50?
50% of what?
50% of 10% ma'am.
Great. Okay.
Yung mako-confine.
Okay. So
50,
ngayon,
30, 20 ma'am.
oo, si Marieta naman. Ganun din. Paano niya ginawa? Game. Tingnan ko lang yung retention. You start with total population. Ma'am, naka-ano ka? Naka-unmute. Okay.
Good evening.
Hi.
As to the population for the sick is 42%, and then 80% of the 42% will go to the government hospital, and then the 20% of the 42% will go to the private hospital, and 10% will go to the
Wala pa. Meron kang na-miss pa. 10% of
the
the
80% of the
yan
80%
will be
will go to the government, will go to the
Hindi.
government.
Hindi, ma'am. Will be
Oh,
confined.
I
Will
will
be
be
confined.
I will be confined.
Okay.
And the 50% of the 10 will go to the primary hospital, and the 30 of the 10% will go to the secondary, and to the tertiary, the 20%, the remaining 20%.
Yan. So, I'll call nga si Christopher Jan Villena. So, I will call 2 more mamaya and then we proceed to the next. Sige. Tingnan ko paano.
Ako, ma'am.
Oo. Hindi naman ako, di ba? So,
Sige, ma'am.
okay.
So, of the total population, ma'am, 42% is expected na magkakasakit. Then 10% will be confined. Out of 10%, dun sa 80% na 80% dun sa 10% na mako-confine will be confined to the government hospital, in which 50% will be confined to the primary hospitals, 30% for the secondary, and 20% for the tertiary hospitals.
Hindi sila will be confined, will go to. Will
Okay.
go. Okay? Si Daisy Jane tapos si Annalyn. Okay? Game.
42% of the population will get sick. Tapos 80% of the 42% will go to public hospital. 20% of the 42% will go to private. Tapos 10% of the 80% will be confined. And then 50% of the 10% will go to primary. Tapos yung secondary is 30. Tapos 20 yung tertiary.
Great.
Tama
Annalyn.
ba?
Oo, tama.
Hello, ma'am. Out of all the population, ma'am, 42% will supposedly get sick. And out of the 42%, the 80% will go to the public hospital, sorry. And then 20% go to the private hospital. And then those who will be confined is 10% of that 80%, ma'am. And then in that 10%, 50% will go to the primary hospital, 30% to the secondary, and 20% to tertiary hospital.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
Nice.
ma'am.
I-close nyo ulit yung camera ninyo kasi meron ulit tayong another topic na meron na naman tayong i-memorize. Okay? Game. Jen? Malnutrition. Sige. Malnutrition. Okay, ito medyo mas complicated na ito. For malnutrition rate, it refers to the proportion of malnourished children age 0 to 14 years old to the total population in the 0-14 bracket. Okay? Now, siyempre, di ba we were talking about how many percent are going to government and then to private. So, meron tayong manpower, di ba? Manpower requirements for health services. You're looking at that in your slide. Hindi pala slide yan, sa PDF. The manpower requirements correlate with the adequacy and inadequacy of health service rendered based on health status. So, for outpatient care, sabi dito, this may be computed as follows. Number of manpower equals number of man-hours required for outpatients divided by available professional time in hours. Magkakaiba yung bawat profession. Nurse, mga ganon, doctor, magkakaiba yung man-hours nila. Man-hour, okay, so, i-memorize nyo na yung formula na number of manpower equals number of man-hours required for outpatients, because outpatient yung pinag-usapan muna natin, divided by available professional time in hours. So, ano yung magka-cancel out dito later. So, but man-hour required for outpatient equals number of cases times frequency of visit times duration in minutes divided by 60 minutes per hour. Okay? By this time, ipinoprocess nyo na sa mind nyo yan. So, but professional time is equal to 272 days times number of available professional time. I'll give you 5 minutes to memorize that kasi hindi niya na mabalikan yan, I can bet. All the ay dyan, iganon mo pa, ibaba mo pa. Oops. Okay, hindi. Yung mga dentist, ganyan. Kasi kailangan memorize na rin nila. 5 minutes lang, ha? Okay, number of manpower. So you need also to memorize yung 4 hours for direct patient care, ganon, and 4 hours for administrative auxiliary time. Yung available. 4, 5, 3, ganon. Dapat totals 8 hours a day.
Miss, ang question lang po sa professional time.
Yes.
As per seeing po, there's a 272 days times number of available professional time. How to get po the number of professional time po?
Ano nga dapat ano pala, no? Sige nga, i-move ni Jen. Meron ka namang kopya dyan, ano? Meron tayong assume frequency of clinic consultation. That's 2.88 times. And then, duration of each visit or consultation is lesser or greater than 15 minutes depending on type of illness. Okay? And so yan lahat yung mga variables na dapat natin, we need to take care of. Ang pinapamemorize ko lang muna sa inyo is yung mga professional available muna sa doctor, yung ganun, iba-iba, di ba? Napansin
Oh,
ninyo? Okay.
yes
Now,
po.
dun sa computation, if you want to, we compute now, iakyat mo dyan. Sample computation for determining manpower requirements. Kapag ka manpower yung yung ating isosolve, 'di ba? Manpower is we have this, ang given dyan is okay, 'di ba nakalagay doon number of cases if we determine man-hour required for outpatient, so gastroenteritis, halimbawa 100,000 halimbawa, and then yung frequency of consultation by patient, because this is the case, is 2 times. And then given din yung physician's time, like duration in minutes is 15 minutes halimbawa per case. So and then the physician's productive time is 4 hours, di ba? Nakalagay doon sa professional time available for, so you need to also memorize that kasi minsan they don't put that, yung productive time niya. So yung working days in 1 year is 270 days. So when you solve for man-hour required for outpatient is nakalagay dyan 100,000 number of cases times 2 kasi nakalagay doon frequency, no? And then yung duration in minutes because the doctor is just yun nga yung 15 minutes lang per patient. And then divided by 60 minutes per hour kasi yun yung 'di ba per 1 hour kasi we need to express in minutes yung denominator niya. Okay, so diyan ibaba mo, itaas mo. Hindi. Baliktad naman. Okay, yan. So kapag so you were able to compute 50,000 man-hours required for outpatient. Na yung number of cases na is 100,000. So we now next na i-compute mo is yung professional time ni doctor. 'Di ba? Physicians. So since 272 naman yung 272 days kasi working days per year yan, you multiply it by 4, which is the productive time of the doctor. Kasi nakalagay sa formula is the number of days times number of available professional time. Pero kapag ka nurse ang tinatanong niya, 5 hours siya. So you need to really have presence of mind pag nagko-compute tayo ng ganyan. So when you magka-cancel out yung days, yung 'di ba? So 272 days per year. So maano mo na 1,088 hours yung professional time for the 100,000 cases. So how many yung manpower mo? You can now divide, okay? Yung divide mo na the number of man hours 50,000 na na-solve mo earlier divided by the number of hours. So 46 municipal health officers yung kailangan mo so that you can attend to all the cases. Medyo complicated, ano? Kasi yung cases, yung kaya hours yan, di ba? Working days per hour, per year, times hours, productive day niya, productive time niya is 4 hours. So, nag-cancel out ka doon, di ba? That's why you have 1,088 hours. Ngayon, I'll give you, sige Jen, tingnan nga natin yung data doon sa taas. Sa taas. Okay. Yung, sige pa. Dun sa case, ayan. Ay, hindi. Hindi, doon sa baba pala. Doon sa baba, ayan. Yan. So, okay. Can you compute? Alimbawa, ang case ay, sige nga, arthritis. Sige, same data pero how many nurses naman? How many nurses ang kailangan natin instead na municipal health officers? So, same data. And then I'll ask someone to explain paano kinuha. Remember, magkaiba yung professional time available. Pero pag si nurse, ilan? With same data. And then yung iba, sige, I'll call. Sana, ready pa din tayo. Si Kwan siguro. Si Regine mamaya, no? Yung si Regine siguro yung vaccine. Midwife naman is manganganak no? Pero sanitary. 7 hours vaccine. Sige nga, si Regine na lang mamaya mag-compute ng nurse. How many public health nurse are needed for this particular case? Nasaan na si Sandy? May nag-answer na. 46 ba yan, nurses? Christopher?
According na po sa computation ko, ma'am.
Si Regine mo na. Sige, Regine. So if you, and you explain siguro yung paano mo siya nakuha. Mm. 7. Okay. Please unmute Regine and then kindly try to help us paano mo siya kinuha? Regine, are you there? Baka nakatulog na si Regine. Ano siya? O si ka na lang, si VC na lang, si Jean. Sige nga, Jean.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am,
sige.
given na ma'am yung number of man hours required for outpatients yung 50,000. Tapos yung available professional time in hours niya, yung nurse yung hinahanap niya ma'am is 5 hours times 272 days is equal to 1,360. So 50,000 over 1,360 is equal to 36.76. Then ira-round off natin magiging 37 po siya.
Okay. Correct na lahat. So, ganon lang yung ano. I'll call Roderick nga. Roderick, paki-recite yung paki-recite naman yung professional time bawat without looking. Bawat office health magsimula ka
Ma'am,
sa
yung
doctor.
yung professional time po, ma'am.
4-4 ganon. 4-4.
Oh yes. 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 6, 2, 7, 1, 5, 3. Municipalities for
Nabigla naman ako
patients.
doon. Ang bilis.
Sinolo ko municipality or city is for the direct patients, for the administrative. Then public health is 5 hours for the direct patient, 3 hours for the administrative. Rural health is 6 hours for the direct patients, then 2 hours for the administrative. Then rural is rural sanitary is 6 hours for direct, 2 hours for the administrative. Then yun pong bakuna vaccinator is 7 hours ang direct, then 1 hour yung para sa administrative. Then last is for the dentist is 5 hours for the direct patient and 3 hours para sa administrative, ma'am.
Anong napansin mo? Sino yung pinakamataas yung direct patient care?
Yung 7, ano nga lang, ma'am, 7 hours kasi yung, ma'am, bali yung 6 and 2. 6 hours.
Pinakamataas? Hindi.
I know, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Yung dentist pala, ma'am. Bali, 5 hours sa pero, 5 ang telex na pero for 3 hours. Mas mahaba yung tempo niya.
Parang si vaccinator.
Vaccinator, 7.
7.
Di, ma'am, 7 hours for 1. For 1 nga pala, 1 hour po yung kanyang adjective.
I was asking about the direct patient care, di ba? Bakit kaya?
Okay, ma'am.
Do you know why? Bakit mas pinakamataas si vaccinator? Mag-vaccine lang siya ng vaccine, ano?
O yun nga, si moron vaccine lang po yung ginagawa. Pero case to case basis, ma'am, kung ngayon, ma'am, kung for vaccine for COVID-19, mas marami po sila.
Bakit kaya na? Di ba? At saka, bakit 1 hour lang yung kanyang administrative? So, ibig sabihin, you can now imagine, na yung si vaccinator, less,
Usually, nasi-field sila.
Ay,
Barangay to barangay.
Oo, kaya
Di ba, ma'am,
puro
sila rin yung kumukuha ng mga blood test siguro, baka kaya ganun.
Oo, at saka yun na nga yun talaga yung nature ng
Yes,
work
ma'am.
niya. Sino pinakamaliit?
Yung pong yung 4 hours lang, ma'am, yung sa municipal health officer parang.
Yung doktor.
Doktor.
Diba? Syempre
Yes, ma'am.
madami siyang paperwork siguro, yung mga ganun ba, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, direct patient care. And ano yung assumed frequency of clinic consultation? Dito, di ba 2.88 times sinabi doon. So for each na sakit ganyan yung how often do you consult? So 2.88 times or 3 siguro ito. Anyway, did you enjoy that exercise?
Enjoy po, sobra.
Sobrang grabe. Baka inis na kayo.
Hindi naman po, like parang nasa-challenge lang yung parang fast thinking regarding sa pag-memorize at saka arithmetic.
Yes. Oo, 'di ba? Dapat kahit hindi niyo nabalikan ito, alam niyo na pag mag-compute. Huwag niyo kalimutan, ha. And then yung rural health units naman, can you go Jen doon sa rural health units kasi doon ako mag-e-end ng aking yun naman yung mga okay, sige lang Jen. I-advance mo siya. Okay, hang on. Okay, sa rural health units naman, the required manpower is computed based on the staffing pattern required by law. So the standards in RHU personal population are as follows. So, Elvis, bibigyan mo nga yan. Can you read that aloud?
One municipal health officer per 20,000 population, and one public health nurse per 20,000 population, one rural sanitary inspector per 20,000 population, one rural health midwife per 5,000 population po.
Okay. For that,
Yeah.
yung kanina, how many health officers, ang kailangan doon sa gastroenteritis na na-solve natin? 46, di ba?
46.
Oo, yung 46 na health officers na yun with that RHU, roughly ilan yung kaya na yung population? Kasi 1:20,000.
920,000.
920,000 lang.
Oo, ilan with 46 health officers, ilang population ang
920,000 lang.
920,000.
Oo, sino yung LGU na ganon? Sino? Na ang
Malaki, ma'am.
dami doktor. Mas marami pa sa hospital. Di ba?
Wala pa yata.
Walang gano'n. Anyway, pero si midwife, don't forget, baka itanungin yan, 5,000 population. So ibig sabihin, for 20,000 population, ilan yung health midwife ang kailangan mo?
4.
4. See? Kahit isa lang si nurse kasi we need assistance, 'di ba? Madami ring nanganganak, 'di ba? Na iped na 'di ba ano na yung bawat barangay meron siya yung labor, anong tawag mo doon?
Labor assistance officer po.
Oo. Meron ba yun talaga? I mean, ano na yung type of clinic na yung kwan?
Lying in clinic, ma'am.
Lying
Lying
in. Ayun. Okay. So, we go to the last one is hospital bed requirements may be computed using two methods. Oops, I'm still using the expected patient load approach and the normative approach. So, dalawa. Expected patient load approach and the normative approach. And the expected patient load approach converts the required bed days based on the assumption that patients suffering from acute communicable diseases would need, and natatawa naman ako dito kasi sa COVID kasi I'm thinking hindi naman applicable ito, di ba? Suffering from acute communicable diseases would need an average of 7 days of confinement or hospitalization, while those with chronic degenerative diseases would need an average of 15 days confinement. 7, 15, okay? Acute, communicable to chronic degenerative disease is 15, would need an average of 15 days of confinement. The required bed days are converted into bed requirements. While the normative naman uses the bed population ratio of 1:2,000 to determine the total bed requirements. Sige, i-move mo. Si Roderick nga, ano yung nabasa mo kanina? Ano yung binasa ni Kwan? Ano yung binasa ko pala? Anong sinasabi niya?
Ma'am, ano yun, ma'am? Sorry, ma'am.
Ibalik mo dyan. Okay. Di ba, ano yung natandaan mo dyan sa hospital bed requirements? You can say there are two methods, di ba, to compute the number of beds or bed requirements. One normative and one expected patient load approach. Ano yung kanya? Ano yung characteristic nun? So, yung expected patient, ang sinasabi niya daan, that the manner that you convert required bed days, okay, is based on the assumption that patients suffering from acute communicable diseases would be an average of 7 days of confinement, and then yung chronic degenerative diseases would need average of 15 days confinement. So the required bed days are converted into bed requirements. Tapos yung 1:2,000 naman yung normative approach using the 1:2,000 ratio to determine the total bed requirement. So, dalawang method yon. 7, 15. Iganon mo nga, Jen. Itaas mo. Okay. Go ahead, Roderick. Ano yung natandaan mo doon? Not necessarily lahat. Ano yung kaya mong tandaan? Kahit ano. Don't be frustrated kapag hindi nyo magawa. It's not easy, okay? Sige, ano yung 2 methods? Sige. Si Rona. Sige, balikan ko si Roderick. Rona. Hi, Rona. Si Sanri. Where are you, Sanri?
Yes, ma'am.
Ano yung natandaan mo dun sa sinabi ko?
May dalawang approach po, ma'am. Yung load expected patient na yun at saka yung sa normative. Yung unang approach po, ma'am, is yung natatandaan ko lang is pag ano siya, pag chronic, pag acute siya, ma'am, 7 days. Tapos pag chronic siya is nasa 15 days yung confinement niya. Pero pag normative yung gamit, ma'am, is mayroon siyang ratio na pinapollow, which is 1:20 or 2,000.
2,000.
2,000. Ayun.
1:2,000. Balikan ko si Roderick. Roderick, kahit ano yung matandaan mo ulit.
Ma'am, sorry ma'am, hindi ko kasi na ano kanina yung ano.
Okay. Sige,
Pwede ko
ibalik mo,
mabalikan
Jen.
po ulit.
Balikan natin. Game. Jen. So, dalawa. There are 2 methods. The expected patient, okay? The expected patient load approach and the normative approach. Madali lang yung normative kasi yung ratio niya is 1:2,000 to determine the total bed requirement. So, ilang beds yan? 10, 11, 12, ganun. Pero yung expected patient load approach, it is based on yung number of confinement. That ibig sabihin ng expected patient load approach converts the required bed days based on the assumption that patients suffering from acute communicable diseases, di ba yung natatransfer, would need an average of 7 days confinement. Samantala, yung chronic degenerative diseases, yung talaga nag-degenerate siya, no? Malala. Hindi siya pataas or parang so it needs average of 15 days confinement. So the required bed days are converted into bed requirements. So yun yung characteristic niya. The required bed days number, di ba? Number kasi 15-7, 7-15 are converted to bed requirements. So ilang beds yun, pero because of the duration ba ng confinement. Ganun. Okay. Iganon na natin, Jen. Ano yung natandaan ni Roderick?
Matandaan ko po, ma'am, yung sa hospital bed requirements, yung pong expected patient po no na approach to convert required days po may assumptions of patients suffering from a communicable disease. 7 days po for confinement or hospitalization. Tapos yung sa normative approach po, use yung population ng 1:2,000 total bed requirements po ba? Sorry.
Hindi mo pa natapos yung isa. Hindi mo pa natapos yung 15 days.
Na-recall ko lang, ma'am, yung ano. Sorry, ma'am. Medyo mahaba yun. No?
Yung chronic degenerative. Kasi yung chronic degenerative, yun yung yung marang illness na nagde-degenerate siya. Diba?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
cancer.
For the longest time po nagkakaroon kayo. Yung chronic matagal mo na nakuha yung longer po.
Okay,
sorry, ma'am. Ilang tandaan ko, ma'am. Sorry po.
Pero matandaan mo na yan next time, di ba? Sa ano lang. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya direct computation na number of beds, but it is yung expected patient load approach is yung sa number of days ng confinement kino-compute.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. In 7 days. Opo.
Okay.
Then,
Ngayon, samantala yung normative is based on the 1:20,000 ratio, di ba? Okay.
1:2,000,
One bed.
ma'am.
Oo, 1:20,000.
2,000 lang, ma'am. Opo.
Ay, sorry. 2,000. Ako tuloy nagkamali. Ngayon, okay. Sorry. The available beds, I'm reading this now. The available beds of existing hospitals are then, di ba yung available beds of existing hospitals are then subtracted from the required number of beds to get the number of additional beds needed. Okay, so ibig sabihin, so the suggested bed requirements by type of facilities are as follows. Please memorize now.
Ako ulit, ma'am.
Hindi. Iba
Sige,
naman.
ma'am. I-memorize ko po talaga, ma'am. Sige po. Sige po.
Si Antoinette. Okay, mamaya. Okay. So, i-move mo doon din. Municipal, provincial, regional. Antoinette, ano yung tandaan mo doon? Ups, alisin. Jen, alisin mo dyan. Hindi, yung municipal beds. Tanggalin mo yan dyan. Itaas mo dyan. Nakikita niya. Nakikita pa din niya. Then, itaas mo dyan. Hindi, pinapakita mo naman eh. Yan, okay. Game.
Sige po. Simula po dun sa municipal hospital is 6 to 25 ba yun? 24 po. Tapos sa provincial, 100 to 190 po. Tama po ba?
Yes,
Tapos
yes.
dun po sa regional hospital, parang, wait lang, 100 kasi yung 100 to 299. Then para sa medical centers, 300 po.
Minimum of 300.
Yun po, ma'am.
Okay. May I call on, sino yung, okay, hindi ko makita. Si Christopher Atay. Okay, can you repeat that? Hi, Chris.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. Hospital bed requirements by type of facilities. For municipal hospital, the requirements are 6 to 24. And for provincial hospital, 100 to 199 beds. And then for regional hospital, it's 200 to 299 beds. And medical centers, a minimum of 300 beds.
Great. Okay, so okay na tayo. So ngayon, hospital bed population ratio refers to the ratio. So this will be the last topic na hospital bed population ratio, therefore refers to the ratio of hospital beds to the population, usually expressed as the number of available hospitals. So Jen, asan na yun? Ano mo yan? Sige. Okay, sige pa. Sige lang. Ayan, yan. So yan, nakikita niyo yung formula, no? It's usually expressed as the number of available hospital beds for every 1,000 population. So that's why yung mga tertiary natin is expressed in number of beds, di ba? So for a medical center, minimum of 300. So, okay. Actually, 500, yung mga iba, 500 dapat. Parang gano'n yung, Anyway, hospital bed population ratio equals number of hospital beds available divided by total population times 1,000. So, meron din tayong, don't mistake it, na yung hospital bed occupancy rate refers to the number of inpatient hospital beds occupied divided by, okay, the average number of hospital beds expressed in percent. So, kita niyo number of inpatient hospital beds occupied naman. So, yung hospital bed occupancy rate is number of inpatient hospital beds occupied divided by average number of hospital beds. Okay? So, tomorrow we'll have examination and then I'll continue lecture kasi kailangan before mag-weekend master na ninyo. Parang pilitin natin yung sarili natin to master the 3 volumes. Okay? Kailangan you read from tonight through to before weekend na yung 3 volumes natin. Tapos na natin yung Sidra naman. So, volume 1, volume 2, volume 1, okay? And then volume 2 is the analysis, no? Sectoral and situational analysis. And then volume 3 is yung zoning ordinance, no? Kailangan memorize natin yun. Okay ba? So, hindi naman memorize, pero ganon. So, pipilitin natin yan. You know what? Kapag makabisado ninyo yung 3 volume, it will give you 200% confidence level, okay? For the board exam. Kasi ito na yung parang pinaka ultimate na we will make it very easy, okay? For you, para sa coaching natin, parang relax na kayong lahat. Alright? So, Jen, okay na ako. I'll end in that.
Yun po ba yung, ano pong i-exam tomorrow po, like yung na-discuss natin today?